Hey everyone, this is Peter Keys, and you're listening to Danielle Bloom's show, Rock Me Right. That's what's up, y'all.
Hey guys, it's Danielle Bloom, and welcome to my show, Rock Me Right. I mentioned earlier in the week that there is power in never giving up. And I asked you to think about a time in your own life when you could have given up, but you didn't. My next guest, Peter Keys, piano player for Lynyrd Skynyrd, reflects back to a time in his own life where he felt like giving up, but he didn't. Stay tuned. It's coming right up.
It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll.
Hey, everybody. Today, my tremendous guest is Peter Keys, piano keyboard player for Lynyrd Skynyrd. Peter, what's up? How are you?
Hi, Danielle. What's up, everybody? I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing so awesome, and everyone is so excited to get to know you better and hear your story. So we are stoked that you are here. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're super busy, so.
No worries, no worries.
How does it feel to be back on the road and on stage for being held back for so long?
It's kind of alien. It's weird. It's great. I love it. It's just a whole new world out there. It's a little bit different than it was when we, all got shut down. There's definitely a lot of energy. People are really, really excited to experience live music again, and I can definitely feel it from the stage. It's awesome.
Oh, that is so great. What do you mean when you say it's different?
Just after being, shut down for like 18 months, right? It's like as an artist or as a musician, as a touring musician, we get into a flow, right? And there's like a balance that kind of has to happen between like being on the road and being at home and being in the studio. And you just kind of got a lot of balls in the air. There's a lot of juggling going on. And when one of those gets removed, you kind of have to pivot, right? So I'd pivoted toward, spending a lot more time in the studio, recording and writing and producing, and still playing. I mean, black and white keys is all I see all the time, so it's not like, it's not totally alien, but getting back to, just the whole process of the travel and the show and the loud and the people and the stuff and the, it's weird.
During the pandemic, I loved you did these quarantine posts where you would post different songs every day. I thought that was amazing. And you were very positive and inspiring. And I think I would read some of the comments people would say, and I think they were like, oh, I would love for him to be a permanent fixture in my life at this time because you were so inspiring. It was amazing. And I loved like your cat attack video. That was pretty rad. And you would dress up sometimes, and it was awesome.
Right. Well, I do love performing, so it was, like trying to wrap my head around the fact that we weren't doing gigs. I was like, well, shoot, I got to be playing and I got to be doing something. So I started, the quarantine tunes, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. And, one that stood out to me was one that you wrote for your mom and sister. Can you talk about that one?
Yeah. I lost my mom about 5 years ago to, she had a surgery, like a pretty much routine surgery, and, she passed, and that was pretty shocking. And then, my sister died of ovarian cancer like 2 years ago. So,
That's
I was pretty much just crushed. And the way that I process stuff, grief is really intense. And it's something that we have to walk through and experience. So, what I do is I just sat down and started playing. I came up with this little ditty, but, it was really just how I was processing it. It's, how many tears must I cry before I get over you? Seems like we never had the chance to say goodbye. No matter how I try, I just can't believe it's true. That's been gone. And, the chorus is, but somehow still carry on, just like we used to. We carry on, but it just don't seem the same. I carry on with the weight of the world on my shoulders until we can meet again, So there's,
Powerful.
there's hope there, for the afterlife, that we actually get to meet all the people that have passed in our life. So that's
No, I loved that, and I knew, there was something behind that, and it was very powerful. Wanted to ask you about it. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
So, what was the defining moment where you knew music was what you wanted to do with your life?
Oh, my gosh. Well, the first one was probably when I was 4 or 5, and I'd played my first recital in, and I remember getting dressed in my purple velvet suit.
I love it. That's amazing. Oh, gosh, you got to post a picture of that.
I wish I had a picture of it. I mean, I was 4. It was
Right.
like way back in the 1900s. It's probably a black and white photo. But
1900, that's great. You're awesome.
But, I just remember getting up and being terrified and then starting to play, and then everything disappeared. Like the fear all went away, and I was like, okay, cool. So just being at the piano gave me this sense of just security, I actually control what's happening here, whereas the rest of the world was a big mystery. So that was my first kind of knowing that this is what I was. The next like aha moment was when I was 12 or 13. A friend's mom was like, hey, we got tickets to go see this show. Can you come to a concert? And my mom was like, yeah, you can go. So we went to see this band called Little Feat at the Berkeley Community Theater, and they were doing the Waiting for Columbus tour, which had, Put On Your Dancing Shoes and Dixie Chicken, like just some really great music. And I remember walking into the theater, and I'd never been in like a huge group of people all partying and like listening to music. And it's like people were drinking and smoking weed. And like, I was like, oh, this is really dangerous. And I love it. And
the rebel in you.
Right. And it's like somebody handed me a joint. And I was like, what? So I, of course I did it. And then the band started, and it was just like, oh my God. This is the coolest thing ever. This is what I want to do. I could see how the crowd was responding and reacting and being moved by the music. And then I could see how the band was responding to that. And it was just this kind of perpetual motion of energy and good vibes and feeling and love and expression. And I was like, wow. So it just, it really hit me right then. I'm like, this is what I need to do with my life.
I like it. Yeah, just playing off that energy of the audience is intense. It's insane. It's awesome.
Yeah, there was also the whole air of irresponsibility of rock and roll, people partying and letting their hair down and no rules. And I was like, I've been a rebel since day one, So that also was very enticing.
So, going back to you were 4 or 5 at this recital. Now, did you just get up and just start playing? Had you already been playing? Did you take lessons? Yeah,
I was taking lessons. I started playing when I was 4,
Okay.
I used to, my parents had a baby grand piano in the living room, and I used to sleep, crawl and fall asleep under it while they'd play classical duets as an infant. So,
oh my gosh.
As soon as I could reach the piano, I was messing around and, trying to make notes and make sounds. And so they put me in music school, before I even got into like grade school, really.
Wow.
So
that's amazing. And you're an incredible entertainer for sure. Oh my gosh. I love watching you perform. So now you have done a lot, and I know everyone listening already knows that you are in Lynyrd Skynyrd. You have done things with George Clinton, Yellow Wolf, and I know more that I'm not even mentioning, but what were some moments that led to you becoming a keyboard player for Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Well, see, I was touring with Funkadelic and with the original P, which is the original Parliaments. And we were playing in upstate New York, I think, and this band opened up for us, and it was Shannon Kerfman, who you may know from Kid Rock's band, and her guitar player, Marlon Young, and I were sharing a balcony at the hotel, and I think I bummed a cigarette from him, and he's like, hey, man, you're a great player. I'm like, yeah, you too. He's like, where do you live? I said, Detroit. He's like, no way, I live in Detroit. So we connected up in Detroit, and fast forward a couple of years, he called me in on a couple sessions. We did a few records. A couple years later, I was working with the Music Mafia in Nashville, and went back to Detroit, and this other artist, Ty Stone, knew me from the Music Mafia, and he said, "Hey, Pete, could you help me put a band together for a showcase for Bob, for Kid Rock?" Mm-hmm. So I called Marlon, and I got a couple other people together, put the band together, did the showcase. Bob loved it, took Ty out on the road. We did that. I kind of had to split that for another gig, and Marlon ended up getting the gig with Kid Rock. So when Kid Rock did All Summer Long with Lynyrd Skynyrd, they all, got together, and then Billy Powell passed away. So Ricky Medlock asked Marlon if he knew of a keyboard player who could handle Billy's parts. So Marlon gave Ricky my number. So Marlon called me and he's like, "Hey man, are you in Nashville?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "I need you to learn Call Me the Breeze, Sweet Home Alabama, Freebird, and give me 3 steps, note for note." And I was like, "Well, what's up with that?" He's like, "I got you an audition for Lynyrd Skynyrd." I was like, "You kidding?"
Wow. Oh my
like,
gosh.
Great. Like, when is it?
Sunk.
Oh, it jumped through my throat. I was like, "When's the audition?"
Amazing.
He's like, "Saturday." I'm like, "Dude, it's Thursday."
Oh, wow.
So basically I had 2 days to just learn all that stuff note for note. So that's
and you did it well. Here you are.
That's the long and short of it, right? It's just a culmination of years of playing, and it's the people that you meet. It really is about, those relationships, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great story. Tell me this, like how long ago was that, and how long have you been in?
That was and let's see, Billy passed away in January of 2009, and they called me in March, I think, 2009.
You've been with them a while, okay.
Yeah,
and,
for 13 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I think I passed the audition. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Oh, my gosh. How many times do you think you have played Sweet Home Alabama since then?
Oh, well,
you can't count, can you?
Yeah, over 1,000 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So if you and your band, Lynyrd Skynyrd, were just hanging out, okay, and you guys were just at a bar having fun, there was karaoke, what would be your guys' go-to karaoke song you would all, like, sing together and jam out and have fun?
We'd go to the hotel.
You wouldn't, like, get up and do some karaoke?
No.
I think that would be so fun.
No.
People would love seeing that.
I know, but it's just, I don't think that's... That's more of a spectator sport, right?
I don't know. I'd probably still do it. So, as you already know, from what you have achieved in your life, there is power in never giving up.
Absolutely.
So what I want to ask you is, what would you talk about, a time in your life where you felt like giving up, you didn't, and here you are today?
Oh, man, that's, let's be honest. That's kind of every day. Every day I have the opportunity to give up, right?
Yeah. Every
day I choose to persist. It's literally a conscious choice. When I was living in Detroit, it was, 2007, 2008, and the economy had just taken it just tanked. And I'd gone in on a building in Plymouth. We bought a church and turned it into a recording studio with a couple partners. And we couldn't make $100 a day because nobody was, doing anything. So, that was a pretty low point for me. I didn't have a gig, and I was trying to run a business and run a studio and stay in music. And I was literally, about to go to Taco Bell and get a job so I could, help feed kids. I found this ad on Craigslist for a keyboard player needed, and it was a salaried position, and it was in Nashville, and the audition was in Nashville. And I basically spent my rent money to fly to Nashville to audition for this gig. And that was a huge leap of faith. I was like, well, this is either going to work or it's not. So, I came down, I got the gig. It wasn't the Skynyrd gig. It was another gig that I'm not going to mention. But, there was definitely a moment of like, is this really going to work? Yeah. And I just took that leap of faith and decided, right then and there, like, look, if I can't make it in Music City, I'm not a musician. So I came down here, got the gig, and that worked out great because that allowed me to actually move to Nashville and be here when I got the call to do the Skynyrd gig. So, it really is about persistence. I've got a theory. It's called the cockroach theory. Okay. And what it is just don't die and don't be a dick, and you will be successful by default, right?
I love it. Don't die. Don't be a dick. I remember that. I asked you to do life advice once on a video, and you said that, and I thought it was amazing. Everyone was like, okay, yeah, I can dig it.
Right. Well, look, the cockroach has been around for billions of years, and they say it's the only creature that's going to survive the impending nuclear holocaust. And that's because it does exactly what it does and only does what it does and doesn't quit and doesn't give up. So I've got a tattoo of a cockroach on my arm to commemorate that. But, you know, really the people that succeed and that, you know, have extended careers in the music business are people that don't give up and that, you know, they're not dicks, really, because nobody wants to be around you if you're,
that's right.
You know.
You got that right. And would you say, too, everything is a stepping stone? Like, this leads to this, leads to that.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So, we were talking before, and when you were mentioning the rebel in you. Now, do you feel, did anything, being the rebel, and you were talking about the drinking and the, you know, everything
the drugs.
else.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
yes, okay. So, did anything happen in your life where it became too much? Too much?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Will you talk about, elaborate on that?
Sure. I'm in recovery. I've been sober for 18, almost 19 years now. You know, that first concert, like being 12 and getting handed a joint, I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm getting high and partying, you know, and like all of my heroes, like Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, like all of these people were notorious partiers, right? They did not any regard for rules or for any of that stuff. So
right.
I took that as, you know, that's the way to be if I want to be cool. You know, it eventually led me down a really dark road of addiction and alcoholism and, you know, in jails and, you know, DUIs, ridiculous, you know, just horrible experiences that I brought on to myself just by living the rock star life, right? So, you know, I eventually hit my bottom and had to get help, you know. And thank God that I did, because now I've got a life that is totally unrecognizable to what it was. I mean, I never stopped playing, but the gigs got better, the pay got better, I started feeling better, you know, I was able to be, you know, of service to other people and help other people along the path. So, you know, recovery is a huge part of my story. You know, I know that it's, you know, an occupational hazard, but so, you know, what I didn't realize is like all my heroes were dead because they did things that killed them.
Yes, right.
Right? You know?
Yep, you got it. And I appreciate you sharing that, because this is a powerful message.
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, that goes to the cockroach theory. Don't die. Don't be a dick. How can you be successful if you die? You can't.
You're right. You're so right. And, you know, since we're on this subject, tell me, what would you tell a teenager today, you know, just getting into music and who maybe feel that same way you did when you were a teenager, going down that path? What would you say to them?
Oh, man, just to never give up and to, you know, try to be self-aware, you know.
Yes, that's huge.
You know, it's like our actions have consequences.
That's right. You got it.
You know, everything that happened to me was a direct result of something I'd either done, said, not done, or not said. And, you know, taking responsibility for my life is a huge part of recovery. And that was, you know, the whole thing about getting high and being a partier and being a rebel is like, I don't have to take responsibility and I can blame everyone else. Well, what does that do? That removes me from any kind of powerful place, right? All of a sudden, I'm a victim, right?
That's good.
So, you know, be powerful, be empowered, own your life, you know.
Right.
Be
so
present to the moment, you know. And if you're an artist and a musician or whatever, learn your craft, you know. Practice and don't give up. And if it's meant for you, the opportunities will present themselves, but you have to be present and aware to recognize those opportunities and to take advantage of them.
That's right. That is so great and so powerful, Peter. Thank you for.
Oh, no problem.
That's awesome. So, lastly, before we end, I really believe that gratitude is extremely important. It helps us, you know, not to fixate so much on our own problems. And when we're grateful, for what we have, our attitude changes immensely, I believe. So what are some aspects of your life that you're grateful for that help you to keep that positive, optimistic outlook?
Oh, man, gratitude is huge for me. I send a gratitude list to about 14 different people every day. First of all, think about this. We bathe in drinking water. Like, there are third world countries that don't have drinking water.
That's right.
I'm grateful for, the smallest things, like being able to walk,
Yes.
like all the way up to, of course, the amazing gig that I have, my children, my woman, all of this stuff is, somebody told me once, if you lost everything that you weren't grateful for today, what would you have? And that kind of scared the crap out of me. I was like, whoa, I better start, really appreciating the things and stuff in my life, because it could all go away tomorrow,
That's good. You're right. I know I sound overzealous. I'm always like, yes, but it's just, I don't know. I get excited because I'm the same way, and I think just like that. So I think it's great. Yeah. Peter, thank you so much for being here.
Well, Danielle, you're welcome. And everybody out there, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't be a dick, and don't die. And you will be successful by default.
And also, can you tell everyone where to find you online so they can check you out and your music?
Yeah, you can go to Peter Keys at Twitter, Peter Keys at Instagram, Peter Keys at Facebook, Spotify. I just released a new song a couple weeks ago, or actually about a month ago, Sunshine, and it's, a positive message, rock and roll. We all need the sunshine. It was kind of an answer to just being locked down for 18 months with COVID.
Oh, awesome.
So, check it out.
We're gonna play that on here too during the segment too. Yeah, perfect.
You know what? Let's play your new single right now. Here it is, y'all. Peter Keys, Sunshine.
Child of nature, child of man, just a creature
messages you want to say, what would you say to your fans?
What would I say to my fans? Thank you. I want to thank everybody for their support and, supporting live music and supporting the arts. And, that's it. Without you guys, we can't do what we do. So gratitude, more gratitude.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And everyone, that's a wrap. And always remember, it's a long way to the top.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. That's right.
All right.